Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us today for our special event, which is AEW vs New Japan Global Wars #1. Hopefully, one of many. Now what's interesting about this one is a few things. So of course, before we start, remember no Bushi, no Naito, Okada or Tanahashi. None of them would be New Japan wouldn't let any of them come in alone, so keep that in mind. Other things to keep an eye on is this event is not on pay-per-view. It is an event, but it is on our AEW Live commercial station. The attendance is only 30,000. Now I don't know if that's because of the reputation of the event of when it was under the Rev Pro name. So as a precaution due to this, I've brought in a major band, B-list celebrity, and a special set, so I hope to God our pay-per-view at the end of the month brings all that money back in. I was quite surprised with the show itself. As I say, none of the matches have any real story behind them, maybe one or two. It's just a lot of fantasy matches, just to have like a real one-off event type thing that we can have every year. Maybe get other companies involved down the line. I initially had the show for 5 hours and thought, there's no danger we'll fill that in. Oh, didn't we half fill that in. The show went to 4 hours, back to 5. It's very match heavy, but I'm quite happy with how we've managed to make it come out. I was really worried that it was going to be lacklustre, but I'm happy the matches were booked, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy what we've put together here. And yeah, we might see some stars made out of it. We might see some stories come out of it. A couple of debuts, as you would expect, representing AEW. But without further ado, I've blathered on enough. Let's go. We are in Akron, Ohio. I believe the home of LeBron James. I could have put this in Japan, but I thought this is an opportunity to, well, get some of the New Japan guys over in the States. And like we could do the first one in America and then maybe look at future ones in Japan when we're more over in those kind of places. So yeah, here we go. AEW vs New Japan Global Wars, the first edition. So 28,702 fans in Akron, Ohio. 22 segments, 16 matches, hence the reason we have no pre-show. I start off with Kenny Omega, Cody, Prince Devitt and Pac in a type of hype package type vignette. The scores is an 89 rating here. Cody talks about his time briefly in New Japan and how it kind of started the relaunch of his career. Kenny Omega talks about his long tenure in Japan and, as I say, his breakout when he went to New Japan. Prince Devitt talks about, you know, how that evolved him as a performer and how it launched his career further as well. And Pac says, well, he didn't go to New Japan. He has fond memories of Japan as a country, the companies over there, and the style it allowed him to bring to wrestling. So 89. All four of these guys are in action. Of course, that main event, well, the co-main event, main event will be for the Tag Team Championships. The Lucha Bros will defend that in the main event. But the co-main will be Cody teaming with AJ Styles to take on Kenny Omega and Prince Devitt. Opening contest is scheduled for one fall, and it was a 6-man tag. And about that had a decent reaction from the crowd in Subpar Wrestling. The team of Shinsuke Nakamura, Claudio Castagnoli and Miro defeated Lance Archer, Doc Gallows and Yujihiro Takahashi in 15:04 when Nakamura pinned Gallows with a Kinshasa. I'm not going to go through all the gimmicks getting rated because the series are like 1 or 2 appearances and that's all we'll have with the company. But of course Archer has his New Japan run previously. I completely forgot to bring in Harry Smith. It wasn't until the last minute I realised. I thought we'll pair him up with Yujihiro and Doc Gallows. And Miro's obviously somebody that's wanted to work the style. Claudio, I'd assume, likewise. And Nakamura, obviously, formerly of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So a 68 for the opener there. Mick Foley has then confirmed that we have stolen El Generico from the orphanage in Mexico. And he is here in All Elite Wrestling. He will be in action next, making his debut. So Generico is AEW, he is All Elite, and he was in a matchup that was decent as he defeated Hiromu Takahashi in 15:10 with a brainbuster. At 62, Generico's underdog gimmick was poor. He's a signing, so we can actually state that. That's disappointing. And he was off his game. Only a 59, so that just shows you how poorly he's been booked with WWE, that we really need to book him strongly. And it's going to be difficult as a luchador compared to, if he was that Canadian fellow that we don't speak of, because he's Mexican luchador. Interestingly enough, Takahashi was one of the few people that didn't have any sort of face pack in the picture in the face pack, which I thought was mad. I could have dragged one over from another face pack, but I like using the one I've got, and to be fair, he's a one-off appearance. And I felt like, yeah, he can put over Generico. He did have creative control in his lone appearance and did not want the job, so to keep him looking strong. But Generico still gets the win anyway, which should give him that small boost to start with on his overness. I assume they do far better than that in real life. 62 though. Then had some tag team action, and believe it or not, they're the New Japan Tag Team Champions in game. Robbie Eagles and Rocky Romero, so that's why I kept them together. They took on the Prophecy, Jacob Fatu and Brian Pillman Jr., and they picked up the win in 15:09 when Brian Pillman Jr. pinned Rocky Romero with a Tornado DDT. A 71 here. Actually really delighted with that one. Fatu and Pillman Jr. are really surprising me, I will say that, for sure. We then had the Mixed Tag Team Championships on the line in a decent matchup. We had Sir Brody Lee and Anna Jay defeated Juice Robinson and Tony Storm in 2026 when Anna Jay submitted Juice Robinson. That's how you get some overness to her. So Brody Lee and Anna Jay make defence number 2 of the AEW Mixed Tag Team Championships. A 76 here, I was a bit worried and I made it a longer match, but hopefully Anna can benefit from that. Only a 48 for her performance, a bit down on what it has been. But I feel like we're only using just once or twice, although to be fair, if him and Tony are going to be as good as this together, we'll see if he is available on a written contract. I think he might be one that is going to be unavailable, but we can keep loaning him in. But yeah, good opportunity to put over the Mixed Tag Team Championships. You've got somebody that's had a lot of history in Japan, and Tony Storm with Stardom, and then Juice Robinson, obviously a wrestler over there. And so Brody Lee and Anna Jay promotes AEW, so good stuff there, and it gives the Mixed Tag Champs the win. Then had a matchup that was exceptional, as we had Hangman Page defeat Will Ospreay in 1941 by pinfall with a handful of the tights. This was in 81, pardon me. There was times where there was a lack of psychology in display, so this could have easily been in the 90s, with a bit more time to it as well, and if it had the psychology. I wanted to try these two together. Obviously a real program like this would have a proper build, but you get a guy that used to work in New Japan in the form of Ospreay, or does in real life, so I felt like this would be a good matchup for Hangman to prevail in. Then had a promo from the Acclaimed on an event like this. They're rapping on T-Hawk and Lindemann, who'll get the opportunity as Japanese wrestlers. That's a 42. So say, don't need to necessarily work for New Japan to be on this show, you can just be Japanese and we'll give you that opportunity. And it was an abysmal matchup that saw the Acclaimed pick up the victory in 10:30 when Max Caster pinned El Lindemann. A 33, which is obviously because of these viewed as pre-show workers. The Acclaimed are going to be a more long-term project. Lindemann and T-Hawk have been hampered by the injury to Shima and then his retirement, but I felt like it gets them on the event and gives the Acclaimed a W on a large scale. Moving along, we had some 10 women action, and we had a lot of our Joshies that are involved with us now. And it was the team of Kairi Hojo, Maki Itoy, Maya Yukihi, I'm never going to pronounce that right, Mayu Iwatani, and Riho, who defeated Ali, Alison Kay, Diona Purrazzo, Jamie Hayter, and Ryo Mizunami in 13:44 when Maki Ito pinned Ali. I tried to use the likes of Jamie Hayter and Diona, who would have had experience in Japan. I'd assume Ali and Alison Kay would have as well, and Mizunami of course. But a good victory for the baby faces here, a 51, and obviously Ali's on the way out, so she can take the loss here, and that can hopefully benefit Maki Itoy. But Kairi Hojo comes out looking $1 million, which you'd love to see. Also, Mizunami only got an 18 performance because she's never performed in the US in this, so had no overness. Moving along, we had Cody Rhodes attack the best friend of Kenny Omega, Michael Nakazawa, and he leaves him completely down, and now he's trying to get into the head more of Kenny Omega, and this beatdown scored a 48 rating. Moving along, we had a matchup between El Phantasmo and Gabriel Kidd, or Gabriel Kidd, however you wish to pronounce it. El Phantasmo picked up the win in 8:41 with greetings from Camwood Park. A 61 here. We do have El Phantasmo signed to a contract. I just don't really know what to do with him. But New Japan representative, so he gets the victory here. Might give him something long term. I just need to figure out something for him creatively, but a good win. It gets him on the event. Mercedes with the banging promo in 83 as she cuts one on Hikaru Shida. She says it might be a great opportunity to promote the Japanese wrestlers and of course people from New Japan. But let's not forget who the best women's wrestler is in the world, and that's Mercedes Varnado, and you better not forget that. So that's scored in 83. And we had a terrible matchup that saw Shida defeat Mercedes Varnado in 1830 when Mercedes was disqualified due to Britt Baker's interference and attack. Only a 56, we had to keep Mercedes strong. This was for the Women's Championship, but I didn't want to take the belt off of Mercedes. I wanted Shida to win, so that was the best way to do the DQ finish. Hopefully Shida can get some positive momentum out of this. Hopefully she can gain pop, but she doesn't gain the World Championship, but she has that belt in her sights going forward. So again, not the best, but happy with it. Moving along, we had a matchup that was superb and a last minute addition when I remembered I had Zack Sabre Jr. in. Pac defeats Zack Sabre Jr. in 27:47 by submission. A great technical bout between these two, which gathers an 87, so that easily could have main evented. Pac with a 93 to Sabre Jr. 76, so Zack is available. I might look at bringing him in at one point, but yeah, a good matchup to have in the Super Show. You also notice a lot of my matches are a wee bit longer. That's purely to reflect the New Japan kind of product as well, having longer matches and giving them that chance. We then had a great match. We had great heat and good wrestling as Darby Allin defeated Switchblade Jay White in 1858 with the coffin drop. I think if that goes over 20 minutes, you maybe get that into the low 80, the low 90. Would they go low 90s? Maybe high 80s, 87, 88. But time constraints on it. Good match up there. Jay White's got to WWE, so of course we're putting our talent over and making him look $1 million. Moving forward, we had some old friends in action as we had the Young Bucks take on the Guerrillas of Destiny, and the Young Bucks win in 1740 when Nick Jackson pinned Tangaloa with the Meltzer driver. An 85 here. Very surprised at that, considering Tama is a 62. Tama's a 59, sorry, and Tanga is a 62. I did have a temptation to bring him in at one point. Tama is a free agent. Tanga is the one that's difficult to get in. But matches like that have me tempted. An 85 and a very good match up there with the Young Bucks picking up the victory. We then have the debut of the man who is going to be leading by example. Ring General Walter is here as he makes an elaborate entrance for this massive brawling match. That was a 56. He is now All Elite. And for his matchup, I decided to put him in against Minoru Suzuki, which I thought would have been just brutal. But it was a decent matchup that had Walter pick up the win in 1823 with the Golden Bomb. I just felt like these two together would just be an absolute brawl. 72, the 60 plays the 75 in terms of in-ring performance. I opted to go with the spectacle because obviously just completely hard hitting. Negatives here: stamina, inconsistency, declining physical ability. Very good, not a very good babyface. I get that. Like, Walter's my heel going forward, so I kind of needed Suzuki to play babyface here in his one-off appearance. Still cool to have the match though. This led us into the tag team match, and good job we did not make it our main event because it flopped. Superb matchup: Prince Devitt and Kenny Omega defeat AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes in 31:27 when Kenny Omega pinned AJ Styles with a one-winged angel. AJ was the weak link. He is struggling to keep up with everyone at this level, so I know he's obviously old, physical decline, maybe not wise to put in for 31 minutes, but If anything shows he's past it, that's definitely it. A few there with low morale. It's just, I expected the rest to carry that match up, so disappointed. Only got a 79. Good job we took it off the main event, that's for sure. After the matchup, we had Kenny, Devitt, and the Young Bucks just celebrate and just basically have like a really good happy ending. Obviously we've still got one more match, but just to say to the crowd, we do have one more match up, a spectacular match for the Tag Team Championships. But I say it's good to have like a wee mini Bullet Club in some sorts of reunion. So the Elite and Bullet Club, because obviously remember our BC is of course Devitt, Jackson and the Jacksons, and the Elite is obviously Kenny and the Jacksons, so it just shows that they're all on the same page. But a nice wee segment there. We've got Full Faithful Lucha Bros can have a good match up here. Let's have a look and see how it does. 93. I absolutely love these guys as my tag team champions. We just keep them as tag team champions forever to get the 100 rating. Because Phoenix has got the psychologist that, he can carry every one of them. But with about, they had superb wrestling and great heat, and the Lucha Brothers defeated Evil and Bushi in 24-55 when Rey Fenix pinned Bushi with the Meteora. Fourth defence of the AEW World Tag Team Championships, another stellar performance from the Lucha Bros, and we finish up tonight's show. 97, and the show increased their popularity in 56 regions. So that tells me, if we could have nailed that opening segment, we possibly could have had a 100 show, thanks to those boosts as well, let's remember that. But another reason I wanted to go all out with the big show is I felt like the reputation of it wasn't great, so hopefully if we get 97 then folk will go, oh wow, this, the next time we have this it's maybe in front of 60,000-70,000 fans. But really delighted by the fact the start of the match was great. It's got me questioning, do we try and recruit some people because they suit our product, which is obviously Brothers of Destiny and Zack Sabre Jr., because they are poachable, and the likes of Bushi and Evil possibly could come in and loan deals for a longer programme. But yeah, that's really made me happy, and these two, I do obviously want to do Penta v Rey Fenix at one point, but they're so good together that I don't ever really want to split them. So we'll jump out. We don't make pay-per-view money because it was live on commercial, but we'll see if possibly that could be our greatest ever television rate. And I thought I just saw Drew McIntyre's contract up there. No, I didn't. So Mizunami leaves because it was a one-off appearance. The show was an absolute success, which is good to see. Paige is gaining new fans online. Good stuff, because we're going to start pushing her going forward. Jade will get a new contract. Wes Briscoe misses a show. Colin Cassidy goes to AAA. Well, intriguing. And Anthony East gets a bad injury. But there you go. That's everybody that's away. So we have lost Bushi. New recruited permanent signing Garza Jr. is now available. Juice Robinson is gone. Tangaloa is gone. Layla Hirsch will need to continue that contract. And obviously likes the Evil and the rest of the crew are all gone. Ospreay says that Yukihi is doing good in the ring. We'll go with that. Matt Jackson likes Kairi Hojo with promos. And Jacob Fatu says that Mercedes is a natural talker. Mad that he is already in that kind of role at 28. But the big one, 4.93, 3.7 million fans. And just to confirm, where are we? Top 100s. So in terms of events, our second best ever after Revolution. In terms of matches, that was in at number 4. You notice that it was mostly tag matches and multi-man matches. In terms of attendances, probably nowhere. In fact, 22nd. So if we had a good crowd there, then it would have been a lot better. Not on pay-per-view, so we don't score there. TV ratings, 4.93, biggest by a mile, and your viewership up by 250,000 from AEW Lightning. So it just shows that because we've expanded the network, it's getting bigger. Financially, our ticket sales are in a good place. We still have 2 Dynamites, 2 Lightnings, and a pay-per-view to go. At the rate we're going at the moment, I think our merchandise could go to 5.4 million. Now obviously we're going to lose a lot more in show costs, and that could maybe hamper us a little bit, but as I say, still get pay-per-view revenue and still sponsorships and all has to go in ticket sales, so we're in a really good position. Delighted with that, and I think we can guarantee we're going to see that show again next year. And of course, with the various alliances we've got, we may look to have a lot more kind of interactions with Impact and AAA, etc. down the line. So thanks very much for watching. We are now on the road to the Tag Team Spectacular. I wonder who's going to be the main event in that show. Obviously the Lucha Bros, that's without a shadow of doubt going to happen. But yeah, looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. So thank you much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. Good day, good night, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.